What I think is that Harry is making up excuses for the book delay, waiting for the Queen to die before the book is released. Obviously, she is in a weak state and what he and Meghan want to do is destroy Charles and William without the Queen knowing. As an American, I call Harry definitely a traitor and a coward. He seems filled with anger, hatred, and jealousy towards his family, and from afar he and Meghan are using social media to tear the family apart. Americans see through Harry. We don't want him here leeching off of Americans and stabbing his family in the back. Him wanting to know what taxes he's paying here in the States. We want to see them. Is he leeching off of us? I wouldn't be a bit surprised. We have learned of his and Meghan's grifter actions while living in Canada and here, and also of their racist accusations and lies. Enough is enough. We will never support anything they do or say. They are users. They are frauds. Meghan Markle's podcast Archetypes debuted on Spotify last week, topping the listener charts. In conversation with Serena Williams and Mariah Carey across the first 2 episodes, Meghan shared more details about her uncomfortable experience within the British monarchy. Joined by her husband and the couple's son Archie Harrison for an interview to promote the podcast, Harry hinted at friction within the royal family. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex stepped away from royal duties in 2020 to become financially independent and pursue other projects. The couple has since entered a development deal with Netflix, as well as signed a multi-year podcast partnership with Spotify. The stated aim of Meghan's podcast, Archetypes, is to rip apart the boxes women have been placed into for generations, but the series has also proved to be another avenue for leveling criticism against the royal family. They should certainly be stripped of their titles. The decision shouldn't be left to them. It's about time the Queen, Prince Charles, and Prince William acted on this and listened to the will of the majority of the public. These odious pair are doing untold damage to the monarchy. During the first episode, featuring a conversation with tennis ace Serena Williams revolving around women and ambition, Meghan said, "I don't remember ever personally feeling the negative connotation behind the word ambitious until I started dating my now husband." Meghan then spoke about having to continue with a planned royal engagement in South Africa after being told there had been a fire in the nursery in which her son Archie, who was unharmed, was meant to have been taking a nap. "I'm not from the UK, but here's what I think. They wanted to step back from royal duties and went so far as to move to Canada than the United States. They hardly ever come back to the UK. When they do, Meghan uses it as more fuel against the royal family and Harry goes along with it. They are using their titles to make money and tearing the UK apart. They wanted to leave, so they should leave. Leave their titles and properties with the UK. Now granted, Harry's title of prince and position in the royal order is safe by blood, but they should not be allowed to make money over it, and that is all Meghan is interested in, money and prestige." Her promoting the podcast, in an interview for New York Magazine's The Cut alongside Prince Harry and the couple's son Archie Harrison, Meghan discussed the tension that arose when she and Harry first tried to leave. Recalling their proposal of a half-in, half-out solution, Meghan said, "That, for whatever reason, is not something that we were allowed to do, even though several other members of the family do that exact thing. Harry has no right to have the title prince. Even though it is probably unprecedented to remove the title of prince from someone, the treacherous behavior, lies, and defamation coming from him and his wife are unprecedented too. They are behaving in a manner inconsistent with being a prince. All his titles, and thus hers too, should be removed ASAP." During the same interview, Harry suggested some members of the royal family aren't able to work and live together. In a poll that ran from 6 p.m. on Wednesday, August 31st, to 10 a.m. on Thursday, September 1st, Express.co.uk asked readers, should Meghan and Harry lose their titles? A total of 17,559 people responded, with a staggering majority, 98%, 17,234 people, answering yes, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex should renounce their royal titles. Only 2%, 273 people, responded no, while a further 52 people said they did not know. In the hundreds of comments left below the accompanying article, readers justified their votes. The verdict was near unanimous, with the overwhelming majority of readers explaining why Meghan and Harry's royal titles were no longer deserved, encapsulated by username Shakervar's words, "Yes, of course. Username AlphaSilk was more emphatic, saying, "Yes. Yes. Yes." Way overdue. Username Beehive matter-of-factly wrote, "The titles should have been removed immediately they stopped as working royals, and moved out of the UK." Other readers took to discussing the matter in more detail. Username WorldWatcher saying, "Maybe his title of Prince is his birthright, but his other titles, the Duke of Sussex, Earl of Dumbarton, and Baron Kilkeel, can be and should be removed." Username Alfonso de Barbo said, "The royal family needs to implement a policy where for any titles granted there needs to be a preliminary phase to see if the individuals etc. deserve such an honor. And if they don't measure up, the titles are automatically rescinded. A 10-year trial period would cover it." Username E8 meanwhile, questioned the validity of the British title system in general, writing, "My question is, why do they still have them?" Username Exiled in the Desert SW took the thought even further, saying, "Titles such as King, Queen, Prince, Princess, Duke, Duchess, etc., 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 and all the special privileges that go with them, have no place in the 21st century anyway. Only a nation that lives in the past would continually endorse a class system that treats the privileged few as demigods, simply because of who they are, not what they have achieved." However, username Slowburn was less enthusiastic about reform, writing, "It would take an act of parliament to accomplish that. It's hardly worth the trouble." Prince Harry's tell-all memoir, rumored to contain further uncomfortable revelations for the royal family, is expected to hit shelves in time for Christmas. However, Page 6 reported the book may be delayed until next year because the Duke of Sussex is unsure about its publication. Entertainment Tonight quotes an anonymous source claiming that the royal family is disappointed by Meghan Markle's latest comments in The Cut magazine and on her podcast. "I feel the Queen is now at the time of her life she does not need these two mealy-mouthed hypocrites. But it would be too much to sort out. However, Charles and William have stepped into the breach and sorted them out. Prince Hasbeen and Mrs. Windsor. Watch their ratings plummet. Oh, the royal lawyers should be on hand with gagging orders." What is the point of these polls? The common man has been saying the titles should go ever since the pair left for their personal reasons, but the Queen ain't listening. Maybe she'll wake up if the people make it clear that either the titles go or well vote to do away with the RF in its entirety and am a royalist. With the Queen's blessing, the Sussexes will continue to maintain their private patronages and associations. While they can no longer formally represent the Queen, the Sussexes have made clear that everything they do will continue to uphold the values of Her Majesty. What hypocrites and liars they both are. Meghan said, "I don't remember ever personally feeling the negative connotation behind the word ambitious until I started dating my now husband. That is because you are not simply ambitious, you are a gold-digging, money, and fame-hungry harpy who doesn't care who she hurts as long as she achieves her goal." Why is Harry supposed to be considering delaying publishing the book? I understood that it had been passed by the lawyers, so why delay? Is all not well in the state of Montecito? Is he trying to keep an escape route open back to the UK?